Hello everyone, and welcome to another comfy cozy live stream on this wonderful Friday. I am still in the middle of setting things up here. Anime Bakt, hello, nice to see you. Today we're gonna once again continue animating our little wizard kitty dude here. And yeah, last time we already dipped in these lightning special effects, and today we're gonna do more magical special effects. I really enjoyed doing that last time because special effects I think is always a lot of fun. It's always a lot of straight ahead animation, which I think is really cool. Hello, Forest Chan. Nice to see you. And, oh, it seems like... Is this possible? Am I live 2 times? Like, what is going on here? I see 2 live streams in my little browser here and 2 chats. Hello, Maria. Working remote today. You can tune in. That's nice. Great. 2 kitties with you now. Well, that's that's wonderful. That's the best way to spend the day is in the company of kitties, right? This is really odd. I seem to be live 2 different in 2 different instances. That's okay. We gotta see how that works out. I really gotta investigate what's going on there, but yeah, I guess I can do that during a break or something. So yeah, last time we did this special effect part right here where the ball is formed, and we're gonna jump back into that. And if we look at the scribble layers that we already did, we can see what the plan was. The plan was to have like this sphere opening, and then in the middle of it, like morphing, it's gonna reveal that there's the milk carton inside, which I think, yeah, we roughly gonna do that. I'm not sure how I now feel about the ball breaking up so much again. I mean, it could be interesting. We can try it. I like this lava lamp feel, like as a contrast to the lightning we had here. To have it feel a little more like a lava lamp could be fun. We could try that. So. Oh, Anime Bakt also sees 2 streams. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm multi-streaming to Twitch and Facebook as well. Oh, there are 2 streams on Facebook too. That's interesting. Okay. No idea what's going on today, but okay. As long as my stream performance seems to be okay, so I hope that this is gonna work. Okay, let's start by having this sphere break up, and I think I'm just gonna do it straight ahead. I'm just gonna go at it, start somewhere and see where we land. You might know that I'm a big pose-to-pose person. I like to plan a lot. But yeah, tonight we're not gonna do that. We just jump right into animating and see where it takes us. Okay, so obviously we need to start with a really slow... Actually, we should have a little bit of a hold, and then we should start with like an ease in and see where that gets us. A little bit of wobbly, this line, but it's okay. Maybe this is even a good style for it. I could pump Yeah, the smoothness is all the way at 0. We can get some help from the computer. 4chan asked which software I'm using. I'm animating in OpenTunes today, which is the software that I use a lot when teaching animation, because, you know, the cool thing about it is it's totally free. You know what? Let's have the sphere actually go up, so it has a reason to like drip down. We have it go up, and as it goes up, it comes apart towards the bottom, which I think could be like a nice, you know, a bi-directional motion. I'm really not good at drawing circles today. Let's just say, you know, this is all intentional. This is exactly how I want this to be. So next one, now we're gonna have the ball splitting up and starting to dip down. So like this, it's starting like this. One players, nice to see you. I'm good, thank you for asking. I'm very, like, I had so much fun with the special effect last time. I was really looking forward to today's live stream, because I really wanted to dip back into special effects with you guys. And yeah, I did a lot of rigging today, so I'm super happy to do some actual creative, straight ahead animation. Oh, we're gonna cut soon. Hi, Ice Cream Hero. It's difficult to keep two chats in view. Maybe we have, during a break, we have to switch one of the live streams off. Hey, R England 77. Nice to see you. It's an interesting experiment to see which live streams are recommended, which of the simultaneous live stream is recommended to what people. I don't think I like the dent at the top. No, I'm not using a mouse. I'm using a Wacom Intuos 5, I think, a drawing tablet. Yeah, I can really recommend using drawing tablets for animation. Makes things a lot easier. There was a time where I was drawing with the mouse, like before I started studying animation stuff, like my first steps were with a mouse. And there was amazing stuff, like on Newgrounds, there were super cool animations that were done by people who were just using a mouse. But it makes it so much easier. Makes it so much easier if you have a drawing tablet. Okay, I don't like that the cut is happening right when we see this frame. I think we want to see that frame for a section of twos here. Like, we're going to this frame, we're going to see it for one more frame, and then we cut. So we stay on twos. Okay, this is getting really confusing with the scribble layers. Let's get rid of those, since we are doing a little bit of our own thing. I think that's a quite a nice start, though. I do like how flowy it feels, especially after all this lightning. And, you know, like, it already feels like a little bit milky. Oh, autosave jumps in the way here. Yeah, Yeah, this is gonna be nice if we continue that here. Maria, you have a really good point there. Maria says, been using a non-display for the 2 years I've been learning animation. Recently got a large display and finding it an interesting adjustment. Posture, stylus holding, everything. Even my drawing style is changing. Yeah, it's like... It does. The tools that you use do change and influence the drawing style, definitely. I have a huge Wacom Cintiq on my desk. I'm not drawing on the display anymore because I realized no matter how I would adjust my posture, like I was trying to draw more like this, I was trying to you know, have it higher up here or something. Like I couldn't find a comfortable posture for animating on a screen. And I was always feeling like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I, but you know, if you think about it, a lot of drawing positions that you go into involve looking down. And, you know, there are some really cool chairs that you can sit the other way around on them and then bend forward and they keep your neck straight and stuff like. So there are possibilities to find good drawing postures, and some artists seem to have a lot easier time than me finding a comfortable position. But I eventually had to give up with the drawing tablet, with the drawing monitor, and I'm back to drawing tablets now because, you know, they can just be lay in front of me here. I can just have my arms in like a 90-degree angle and, you know, look straight and have my neck relaxed. I don't know, so this is currently working best for me, I think. Joyzu Marengo asks, is OpenToonz the best free 2D animation program in 2022? It's certainly one of the best options, yes. Like the other free options that you have, I would choose them for different reasons. Like I would say that OpenToonz is the best vector, yeah, the best classical vector animation software that you can get. Krita is really great for, like, the brushes in Krita are so awesome. If you are into, like, yeah, cool brushes, simulating oil paints, simulating watercolors, having very cool charcoal and stuff like that, then Krita is definitely worth a look. I hear from a lot of people that they absolutely love Pencil 2D, but for me, I always like drawing in vectors because I love that I can still manipulate the drawings. Yeah. Because I like vector all the way, I always land back here with OpenToonz. Although, you know, it does have its quirks. One of you players had the opposite experience. I used a tablet, but it started hurting my hand, so I switched to a drawing display. Yeah, interesting. I mean, cool. If that's working for you, that's great. I still don't know why there's 2 streams currently running. I don't know how this is possible. So if you don't see your chat messages on the screen, you're there. You're in the other stream. I'm thinking about if I can identify which one is which, and then in the break we can kill one of them. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. But I'm getting distracted. I'm back to animation here. That's what we're here for. What is everybody doing this fine evening? Do you have any plans for the weekends? Are you happy that there's a weekend coming up? How is everybody doing this fine day? Okay, so I zoom out here, so I have some room to animate. So the question is, what shape are we going for? We're caving it inward again, I guess. Huh? Are we shrinking it here? I think we're gonna have to ease into here. I think that would be nice, and then pull this up and have it fold in on itself. Maybe it's a bit too that's too much. I think I want to have at least one frame before we get there. Let's see. Brain Detail says, no, kill my stream, bro. Yeah, I mean, I guess if we kill one of the streams, then not the one that shows the chat under here, because I would have no idea how to fix that. Ice Cream Hero is drawing as usual. That's great. That is great. One of you players has a day off. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta enjoy a day off. Oh, that's great to hear. One A player says, I started teaching animation, found your channel very useful in preparing topics on animation terminology. That's great to hear. That's, yeah, I'm happy to help. That's what it's meant for. I have to confess, sometimes when I prepare classes for my students, I do look at some of my old videos, and sometimes I'm surprised by what topics I already had made a video about. And sometimes I'm even like, I knew this? I said this so well. Like, I'm sometimes liking my own content a little too much, I think. And I'm sometimes surprised by what stuff I have already made a video about. Which, you know, sometimes is a shame that YouTube does not really send people to my old videos. Like, you know, and sometimes I think like, I need to revisit that. I need to update that, because, you know, I feel like, you know, especially in art, I mean, I guess that's probably true for a lot of skills in life, that you realize like how you were once doing a thing is probably not the most optimal way of doing it. And then that there are a couple of videos that I really need to redo, but I'm always surprised by how much I've actually forgotten that I already did it. You know, because sometimes I research a topic if I'm not that if it's not something that I do every day, I also have to research it, and that is knowledge that I sometimes forget. Oh no, let's not do that. Okay, I think this is sufficiently different. Yeah, I need to pay attention, like, you know, with this one, with this dent, I want to make it sure that it can be seen as this one. It's also gonna be interesting because we're gonna shrink the volume a little bit, because we want to have a smaller ball, as if, you know, the material is forming, is getting denser from like particles that once were there. Yeah, I think that could work. Sansao, you asked a question. Unfortunately, I cannot see your question here. Let's see if it's in the other chat. I can't see it. I'm sorry, can you write it again? It could be if you don't put any links or something into it, because sometimes the chatbot will censor that. Cuphead Show is back. I have to confess, I didn't get through the first season of the Cuphead Show. I watched like the first 2 episodes. I really liked it. Really liked the Cuphead Show. 1A players, YouTube does not fare well for us 2D animators. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. I also feel sorry for the people, you know, who like, I think as somebody who does tutorials, I can actually be quite happy about how this channel is running. I think people who really have it tough are the ones who make like animated short films and stuff like that. That's really, really tough. Because, you know, the YouTube algorithm might just pick up for you, but then you need half a year to produce your next piece of content. So I think, you know, making tutorials, I'm relatively lucky that I could, in theory, pump out more content. Let's see how that works. Ah, okay. Sansao says, I'm a fairy tale writer. What do I do working together in the animation of my books? I don't quite understand. You want to start animating your books? Making a transition from writing fairy tales to animating fairy tales? Is that correct? That is exciting. Hi Vivek, nice to see you. Hey, it's Maybe. You're up late. Okay, yeah, if you want to start... I'm gonna... Let's finish that motion and then I talk a little bit about how to, you know, maybe develop a... like if you're a writer and you wanna turn your stuff into animation, I can give you some thoughts on that. But let's continue just a couple frames. Ah, okay. Let's put the layer on. Okay, and I think we can shrink to the size that we want it to be, and we can probably already, yeah, here we kind of have to start revealing the milk carton. So I guess that's a good stopping point to talk about something. Oh, let's get rid of the scribble layer. Yeah. That's quite interesting because we are doing an animation here that is actually losing volume, and you know, losing volume is also always a very difficult thing. Like, you should not have that in your character animation. Your character should never lose volume, but in special effects, you can do some crazy stuff that you can't otherwise do in animation. Yeah, I think this is coming along well, and we can dissolve it to reveal the milk carton next. So let's talk about Sansao's question. Well, let's start with an easy to answer question from Ice Cream Hero. What milk do you like the best? I like whole milk. I have to say, for a couple years now, I've only had like the low-fat 1.5% and lactose-free milk, and recently I tried to move more towards milk replacements like oat milk and almond milk are like my two favorites. I like to mix them because then they taste less like just oats or just almonds. And for stuff like chocolate milk or something, I actually prefer them now because I like that extra nutty dimension. But you know, sometimes cereal, some cold cow milk is still the best. Yeah. Okay. So the big question of what do you do if you have ideas, you write down ideas, or maybe you illustrate books and stuff, and you want to turn them into animation. That's a huge, or could be a huge undertaking. That could be a huge project that could keep you busy for years. Like, I don't want to scare you away, but doing an animation, making the jump to animation is a big step, and it needs skill building. It needs so many other things to think about. But yeah, if you like, I would only do it if you're already super interested in animation already. Then that's definitely something that you should explore and branch out into. If we want to stay on the project level, like you have an idea, you have already written something, and now you want to turn that into an animation, the most important thing to build is your storyboard and your animatic. The animatic is just a preview of your animation. Is storyboard images timed on a timeline to get a feeling for how long are certain actions and what are the beats. And if you are completely new to animation, finding the right pacing and the right beats and the right acting moments, acting impulses and beats is one of the biggest tasks. So I would recommend just start doing storyboards and scan them or do them directly at a computer and then put them into a video editing software to feel out how long these things need to be, how long each image needs to be there, how long each beat needs to be there. And it can be very rough at the beginning, but as you progress, you might want to think about more of like the acting impulses. Like, for example, if a character is thinking and has an idea, the bad animation would be to go from thinking to idea, thinking, idea. Like, that is a bad animation because that's not how people usually behave. When we think, we're like, we think on the one hand side, but on the other hand side. But what about, those were already 3 beats. We have like looking here, looking there, being like, maybe the answer is there in the sky. And then be like, wait a second. I got it. That is the answer. Did you see how many beats that was? And that is the difference from illustrating for a book or making a comic. Because in a comic, you would just be like, I'm thinking, I have an idea. But in a believable animation, you need all this, like, maybe this, maybe that, oh, I have the idea. See, it's a lot more extra steps. It's a lot more extra poses that you need to, first of all, just illustrate and come up with, but then also to animate. So that's a big thing. Yeah, and Ice Cream Hero, a good idea how to portray having an idea. Ice Cream Hero says, I often pace around when I'm thinking about something. Yeah, cool. That's definitely a thing you can do. Maria is also suggesting to start with the actual script and then storyboard the script. Which, you know, if you already have a book, then you already have point one in this list, and point two would be thinking about storyboards and thinking about these acting beats. So, yeah. Sansawa says, yeah, I have 2 fairy tale books on sale on Amazon, and I want to make a movie with my stories. Yeah, that's great. That's cool. And then, you know, the thing with... do you already have animation experience? That's probably also a very important question. Yeah, good night. It's maybe... Nice that you could stop by at least for a couple of moments. Because if you... and, you know, this is true for anyone who wants to start making an animated movie from an idea and is maybe just starting out. So... You know, whenever you animate something, you're building your skill. So whatever you do, it's great. Like, if you're animating, no matter if it is working on a project or working on an exercise, that's both great. The thing is, though, that especially in the beginning, hopefully, if you try to pay a lot of attention to how things work, and you look up tutorials, and you look up the terminology and tips and tricks, especially in the beginning, your second animation is going to look a lot better than the first. Your third animation is going to look a lot better than the second. And especially in the beginning, you will make these huge steps of progress. And, you know, sometimes also a step back where you're like, oh, this, how did I get so lucky that one animation looked so good and now the next animation I do doesn't look good at all? You know, that's in the beginning, there are these like huge quality differences. So you probably don't want to start out working on your project immediately. You should probably do animation exercises first. At least parallel to doing the storyboard. We do have an animation class here on Animator Island. You can find that on animatorisland.com/2D, or on YouTube. It's just a playlist on YouTube as well. And there's the best animation exercise for beginner video in there, which is a great starting point for if you're just starting out and you need to get a feeling for how spacing works, how motions speed up and slow down, because, you know, there are these technical things that you need to learn and master first. Like, how do I speed up a motion? How do I slow down a motion? These are things that you should probably be already pretty decent at before you start putting like acting and all these things on top of it. And, you know, and then there's physics and stuff. I like, in the beginning of the 2D animation class, I talk about these different sections that you can learn about. You know, you have just the physics stuff, how physics works, which is pretty great because, you know, physics is something that scientists have described in formulas. If you learn, like, how does a small object fall? How does a heavy object fall? How long does it fall from a higher height and from a lower height? Those are things that you can just learn, because scientists have measured it, they have calculated it. So that's that aspect of animation that your viewers are also instinctively familiar with. You know, if the character in your fairy tale knocks a cup of from a table, and the cup just falls like 1, 2, 3, 4, like far too slow, and it's not reading as slow motion, then your viewers know that something is wrong, that you haven't done your physics homework. And, you know, then there's this whole aspect of human life which goes very close together with these acting beats that I meant. You know, these actors call these impulses, you know, and then I had the impulse to look over there, then I had the impulse to go there, then I had the impulse to had a closer look, I still couldn't see it, then I had the impulse to take my glasses off, you know, to think in those micro impulses. And then there's design. How do you present this? There's this whole thing of image composition and camera work. How is stuff framed in movies? You know, there are the shot sizes when you are further away and getting closer, of how that changes the feeling of things and how it gives you a closer look or an overview, and when to do that. Those are all things that you need to experiment with, and can experiment already in a storyboard and an animatic. Good night, 4chan. What do we have in the other chat? Oh yeah, Ice Cream Hero. I love how Tina runs in Bob's Burgers. Yeah, that's such a nice, and very fitting choice for that character. That's really, really cool. Definitely. Hey Vishal, love from Germany. Oh yeah, that's great. That whole thinking and idea thing helped you. That's good to know. Yeah, I don't know, Sansao, what was that helpful for you? Vishal is also mentioning the 51 animation exercises. Those would be exercises that you could try when you embark on your animation journey. Yeah. One thing that I also have to talk to you, to all of you about, is that we have a Patreon on patreon.com/animatorisland. You can support me if you like the tutorials that I put out and the live streams that I'm doing. Supporting me there helps me a lot if you have the coins to spare. I really, really appreciate it. And one of the tiers on Patreon is the group mentoring. If you join the Patreon membership in the group mentoring tier, you can join a monthly live stream, a monthly live call actually. You can join it too with your webcam and your mic, and we can talk about your project, your work in progress, animation or drawing or an illustration, and I'll give you feedback. I'll annotate over it, draw over it, animate over it, give you tips and tricks on how to make it better, but also how to build your skills long term and what things you could do to improve your art and animation skills in general. And yeah, that's a monthly thing, so you always have a deadline, you always have you know, a date to work towards to get the next feedback if you want. And I'm super happy about anyone who joins, and we have super cool and interesting projects there. So yeah, if anyone is interested in that, please check it out at animatorisland.com/group mentoring. Yeah, we're gonna continue our animation here shortly. Our little special effect here, and we're gonna finally reveal the milk carton and how it comes out. But first, I'm on a quick little break. I need to get more water. My mouth is already so dry from talking. Not used to talking anymore. Like all week I was just working in silence, and now I'm doing my quota for the week, I feel like. So I'll be back in just a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna continue this animation a little more. See you in a little bit. Alright, welcome back. I'm gonna... Oh, my chair! My chair's falling down. It's... that was the elegant introduction that I planned for coming back from the break. Yeah, so we're gonna animate some more. Unless I overlooked a question somewhere. Nope. Yeah, then we're gonna see what we can do here. So for this reveal, I think I want this to spiral along a path. So we have another effect layer here that I'm gonna use to draw a little plan of what we're doing. And I think I want it to be starting from that top layer here, and then have like a spiral of like 2 inner loops, and we're gonna see how that goes. Okay, we need to pay attention that we know what's in front and what's behind, so I would assume like that this is in front, this is behind, this is in front again, this is behind, and this is in front, ending on behind, which I think is pretty good. So we already see the milk carton relatively early. So, yeah, I think that might work. And if it doesn't, we just start over again. You know, that's how it is with animation. Oh, Vishal. Vishal says, I told my mom that you replied me. It's a big thing to me. Aw, I see you as my first inspiration, sir. Your all lessons are easily understandable. That's so great to hear. Thank you so very much. I'm so happy that what I'm doing here is useful. And it's a big honor that I can contribute to your animation education in this way, you know? Okay, so let's see. We're gonna start reveal something, probably while this thing is still somewhat shrinking. Oh, saving. All right. So we should probably make this a little more transparent so we don't get confused by what line belongs to where. Which one is this? This layer? Why is it not making it transparent? Was there a... It only makes it transparent when I have onion skin off? That is odd. Okay. Okay, so let's add the next drawing. I really do need onion skin though. Wait. Oh, now I have onion skin. Oh, so that was just a weird bug of sorts. Okay, so I reveal something while this half still is somewhat untouched. So it went there. Now it's going the other way around. And while it does that, this remains where it is, just hovering. And then we have a break off here. And revealing more here. This might not work at all. And by this point, we should already be able to see the milk carton. So let's see how that plays. Okay, I'm getting the spiraling effect that I wanted, but I'm no longer sure if I want that because we already spent so much time with all the effects before that I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a bit too much after we already went through all this other stuff. Let's see. Okay, so we have this big whole thing, then it comes down, and then it spirals out. I think this is a little bit too much. Ah, Tom doing art says, if I understand what you just did, I recently reported this as a bug on Tahoma, that onion skin disables layer transparency. Yeah, that does seem to happen in OpenToonz as well. But I can't really reproduce it because now it started working. Yeah, I only did it that one time. Okay, so I think it's too spirally. I do like the general motion that after going down, we have this pull to the left, and I think it should feel a little bit more three-dimensionally, spirally. Yeah, I think we can maybe do this a little bit quicker. So let's do this over again and see what we can do. I do like the milk carton rotating as well. Maybe a smaller shape and elongate it doing the spiral, like a cat's tail. Yeah, that could be interesting too. I'm gonna try it with bigger blobs first though, just because that was the aesthetic that we had so far. And you know, maybe the parts coming off it. And you know, maybe it's just one swoosh, as if it's like an egg that is birthing something. Just breaking up into smaller shapes. And then eventually vanishing. Maybe a little bit of a cattail here. And then maybe we have a back layer where we can do some fun stuff as well. Hmm. I mean, not the worst. Maria and Tom doing art are communicating across the chats. Yeah, we have a weird bug tonight. We're for some reason streaming twice. Yeah, Tom doing art says hi, Maria. Ah, okay. Tom doing art is suggesting a motion path to do a mock-up with a sphere. Get a sphere to follow the motion path, and then you can adjust and tune it. Ah, that's interesting. In my case, I'm still learning, so I like the techniques that allow adjustment that can then be followed by clean drawings. That's a really good point. Like I always think that, you know, keyframe animation and frame-by-frame animation are not at all mutually exclusive. Like, I have to say, like, especially for slow motions, I like I love to do it with keyframes first. Like, if you have like a, I don't know, like an elephant foot, and you just have like little spheres, little placeholders going, like, you know, having like elephant or dinosaur feet, or like maybe even something even bigger where you have these super slow motions. I really like to do that with keyframing. Like, even if I'm working actually frame by frame, in the end I want to have it frame by frame, I make like test layers with keyframe animation that do this, and then you can tweak the curves until it's absolutely right, until you have like this impact that you want to have, and until it feels slow sufficiently enough and stuff like that. And then it's basically tracing a little bit, but it's so much easier to play around with animation curves, and yeah, with motion paths too. That's a really good technique. Hey, Healy. I did want to try though to animate the other layer. Maybe that already is enough, because I want to have it. Okay, so it's now revealing the inside, but it's still. There is still like a backside to it. That also has to fall apart. At a different rate. I think that could be quite interesting. And to have the two sides be a little bit delayed. Yeah, I think this is the effect that I wanted, like the two halves falling apart. And then it's like ripping apart here. in these two directions. Oh, we see your face intensively looking at something right now, but oh, you're drawing, oh no! I have actually not done this in quite a while. This is my first stream glitch in a while. I'm so proud of me. This is like the first time. Yeah, look at how this is turning out with the two sides of the sphere unfolding or opening. I want to have more of an ease here. I think the backside can really stay around longer. I think that would be okay. So we already see the milk carton. And then we still have some more time to enjoy the special effects. Okay, so now we have a couple more frames. This one also needs to be different. Still want to be slower. Like this. It's like you're looking at my keyboard. Let's see what's going on in the other chat. Maria says, I did something similar in the 11-second club. My little fairy was keyframed, and then I used the motion path in conjunction with my keys. That's also really smart, yeah. And it's motion paths in OpenTunes. I still have to explore that. Haven't had the honors yet. Fisher says, I'll watch the whole video tomorrow. It's 12:14 a.m. right now. Yeah. Yeah, have a good night. I know that too. Like, I watch some American streamers sometimes, and they just start so late. Time zones are a tricky thing. And get smaller here. This needs to be empty, so let's see if that eases the motion. Yeah! I think this is the effect that I wanted. So not as much as a spiral, then more like of a wave. I still think the kitty's reaction could be a lot later, so we have some time to see the special effect before the cat starts moving. So, cat, where are you? Where are all your layers? You gonna start moving much later here. Yeah, that's nice. I think it has to happen one after the other. You know, talking about beats again, acting beats and visual beats. Everything needs to have its moment. Okay, so let's delete all of that here. That was our scribble layer from earlier, and now we have the complete special effect once again. Oh. Half transparent. Oh, yeah, this is the layer we made half transparent. It's not transparent again. Oh boy, okay, I set it to 100% again. Yeah, there seems to be some weird bug here. Oh, I love it. I love it. I think this is exactly, yeah. This is the right mix of like spiky lightning and then like bubbly milk energy that I wanted to have. Oh, I'm super happy with that. Namaste, Vishal. Maria says, in the US we have a similar problem. I belong to some historical societies based in Europe. Cool. When they live stream, it's 10 a.m. in their time. Much earlier in New York City. Yeah, what is it, like a 6 hour earlier? 5 hours? Oh my god, that's very early. Yeah, Blender. 1E players asked, have you tried Blender? I found it's going to be game changer in 2D animation, even if it's 3D born software. Yeah, we really need to look into that. Like, maybe even when this animation, when this little project is done, I think the next thing has to be that we tackle something in Blender, like, you know, no matter if it's 2D or 3D, I really want to have a closer look at Blender again. It's really cool software. Lots of awesome people put a lot of amazing work into it, and yeah, we definitely have to check that out. And I also want to do some more 3D tutorials and stuff eventually. So yeah, no way around Blender in the future of the Animator Island channel. We do have some Blender tutorials. I did like a bouncing ball thing once, but yeah. I could watch special effects animation on repeat like forever. It's so satisfying. And I like that, you know, you're working on it straight ahead, so you see it revolve in slow motion. But then when it all comes together, it's so nice. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Start around 11 a.m. in Seattle. Yeah, that's a difficult time difference. But yeah, that was kind of my plan, that if I live stream, then at least it's in the middle of the day for the US. You know, depending where you are in the US, this is such a big country. And yeah, I gotta go soon, unfortunately. If there are any urgent questions, I would love to answer them. Yeah, 1A players are already going, so yeah, bye-bye. So if anyone has a question about anything, I would love to answer that. While we're waiting for a question, let me tell you once again that I have a Patreon for Animator Island, and it's really helping me a lot to do more regular stuff for Animator Island, like, you know, the tutorial that came out recently, the live streams. That is all possible because of the support on Patreon, because, you know, let's be honest, in the end of the day, time has to be bought. So yeah, that helps me a lot to focus more on Animator Island and make more tutorials. And yeah, over on Patreon we also have the group mentoring. If you join the group mentoring on Patreon, you can bring whatever you're currently working on to a monthly live session, and I'll give you my feedback. I'll draw over it, annotate, maybe even animate a little bit, show you how to make it even better and how to build your skills in general. that is the Animator Island group mentoring. If you want, you can check that out on animatorisland.com/group mentoring and get a little bit better and improve your projects every single month. There's a question from Lulu M. Is animating special effects better with particle simulators or hand-drawn? That's a very interesting question, very cool question, and one that studios regularly ask. There is a lot of cool stuff that can be done nowadays with simulation. You know, anything nowadays, anything can be simulated. The problem with simulation is that, for example, like a special effect that we did right there, if you want to get it just right, like have the lightning arc out like this, or have the fire be bigger in this moment, or have like a flame coming out on the left at this moment, is not impossible. It's doable, but it's a lot harder because you have to tame the simulation. You have to mix physical simulation with telling the simulation what to do. And there are a lot of smart people working on this, on how to, shape like a fire effect or shape a lightning effect exactly how you want it to do. And a lot of smart TDs build tools so animators can animate lightning in 3D and things like that. But it is ultimately fighting the computer a little bit. Whereas when you animate it frame by frame by hand and you know what you're doing, which, I don't always, then, you can draw it exactly how you want it to look. So sometimes animating a special effect in 2D for a very, very specific version is easier, even if it is meant for live action or something like that. I heard, for example, some like blood splashes in some realistic horror Hollywood movies are actually 2D animation, because setting up a fluid simulation for the blood and have the fluid simulation do exactly the right kind of like blood splatter sometimes is more work than animating in 2D. Have a really, really good 2D FX animator who can make it look like, our blobs here in our animation, they look very cartoony and stuff. But, there are people who can, like, when they animate something like this, they can make it look like realistic, like waves or something like that. And, not just like blobs, but, when they do it, it looks like actual realistic liquid and stuff like that. And then it can be easier and better to do the animation in 2D, where you have the complete control over every frame and it has the perfect shape in every single frame. So yeah, it's a trade-off. But sometimes it's also good to not have to have the complete control. Like, if you simulate an entire ocean, you don't want to control every single wave. Like animating like an ocean and all the waves coming in and stuff, that's just tedious in 2D animation. Whereas a 3D animation could give you like, you see like the whole shoreline at a beach and you see waves crashing into the beach from like a wide area. Then why would you animate this in 2D? Because in 2D you would have to make decisions about every single wave that are arbitrary because the waves are so far away. So yeah, it's it's I would probably, like, if I would be involved in like a VFX project, I would probably decide it on a case-by-case basis. Like for the super important special effects, that where I want every frame to be perfect, to be just right, I would probably do it in 2D. And if I want like a complex fluid animation, like there are, I don't know, like several huge water tanks or something are falling over or something like that, I don't want to figure out how to do this in 2D. I will let a computer figure out how to do it. Let's see. Do we have anything else? Oh yeah, Arcane is a great example where you saw some awesome. I think they also had 3D effect. I think most of the effects were 2D in some way, but I could also imagine that they probably did some like fake, like they did some stuff, some blocking in 3D and then traced it or something, because they have some really slow smoke sometimes that doesn't look like it's 3D, but it was probably in some way traced to have these gorgeous volumes and stuff. Arcane is so great in general. Yeah, the making of series. There's a great making of series about Arcane coming out. I think it's on Netflix also. I've only seen glimpses of it, but it's so fascinating, so cool what they did in Arcane. Yeah, Maria, sometimes the impression of something is more effective than a detailed project. Yeah, if you can fake things well or make, with less work, have it look like more, that's always good. Indeed. All right. Okay, so unfortunately, that's it for today. I had a wonderful time with all of you once again. Thank you all for joining and popping up in the 2 chats that we had today. I gotta figure out what that is about, and I hope that next time we only have 1 chat, so that all of you are together in the same room. Bye, Ice Cream Hero. Yeah, you're welcome, Maria. Thank you all so much. I'm having such a good time with all of you here. Okay, episode 2 of the Arcane making of is out. That's good to know. Thanks, Tom Doing Art. Yeah, thank you all. Have a great day. Keep on animating, and yeah, until next time. Bye bye.